everybody, this is Brothermutant. We are actually continuing on our Let's Play of the Darkest Dungeon. You'll see though that we've actually skipped a week, and I do apologize for that. I actually did try to record it. It recorded fine, but apparently halfway through my cat tripped my microphone, kitty, and you didn't get my scintillating conversation for like the last 20 minutes of it, so I deleted the whole thing. I didn't want to start over, that seemed silly. So we still have the same people. You will see that the leper is at level 1 now, and Dismas, the healer, our Vestal, I should say, and our plague doctor all got some experience as well. It was a successful run. We got a lot of money. It was a shame you guys didn't get a chance to see it, but again, I didn't want to start all over from scratch. That just seemed silly. So we're on week 3. We picked up a new character. I want to say it was a grave robber, which will be awesome. So you'll see this one get dusted off and brought out in this next run as well. So let's see what we got.
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that unplumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
I didn't feel that at all, but now that you mention it, yeah, sure. So again, these are the characters we took last time. You see that you got a little bit of stress. We're starting to get a little worried about that. Matter of fact, I actually had unlocked the guild as well as the blacksmith. We haven't invested anything in the blacksmith yet. I'm yet to decide what to do. We have some money, so maybe I will purchase something, but we haven't figured out what I want to buy. I did unlocked a couple of steps in the training regimen for the guild to make things cheaper. The reason for that was, as you can see, we've actually purchased some stuff. And while $1,000 is pretty gnarly when you do that for every character, if I only unlock one thing, $800 is a lot easier pill to swallow. So you see we've unlocked some specific traits, and again I want to point this out to those that don't know how to do this. All you did was basically click on it, and it literally purchases it immediately, unlocking it, of course. But you can only have 5 equipped at a time, so what you saw last time was I had a character that had these abilities. Now I've unlocked this one. To select it, I need to deselect one of the other ones, and now select it, and you'll notice that it's got the little diamond letting you know that you have it. And this is particularly useful skill for a couple of reasons. A, free torchlight. B, a lame heal. And now C, most importantly, it's a stress heal. So all this stress that we've accumulated on some of these characters, I can start to peel that away if I'm lucky enough with moves like this. So it's a very useful skill. So we're going to probably take Renald with us in this time. I just want to show you what we've done for the other characters. He has all his originals. We've unlocked Blinding Gas, one of my favorite moves, and these are usually my 4 moves that I will almost always have equipped for a Plague Doctor. So we have Noxious Blast, Plague Grenade, Blinding Gas, and the Lame Heal, but it also cures Blight and Bleed. Very useful skill. These 2, the Blinding Gas and the Plague Grenade, affect positions 3 and 4, so it's a AoE move. So I can blight 2 guys, or I can stun 2 guys, and that stun is extremely powerful. So if you hit them with that at the beginning of a mission, before they have a chance to react even, you basically lock down 2 guys. That's fantastic. For the Vestal, I've unlocked her group heal, her party heal, and again equipped it. Make sure you always equip these things. So I got rid of Mace Bash. It's still there, but again, it's not equipped. And that's just so that I can get this party healed, so she can really start doing what she was meant to do. The Leper, I didn't unlock anything because the abilities he has are actually pretty decent. If I were to pick one, it would probably be the self-heal. This is Solemnity. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. It's a self-heal, a very good one. And it also provides Blight, Bleed, Debuff, and Move Resistance, almost like popping a Holy Water, plus healing yourself. So again, a fantastic move for the Leper, so I might get that one, but we're running a little low on cash, and I was gonna hold off on spending it all. For the Hellion that we have here, who hasn't gone out yet, her moves are actually pretty damn good the way they are. I mean, I'm happy with the ones that they picked for her. Iron Swan is key. Something up front, of course, makes sense. Something that bleeds targets is good, and it does. None of these are debuffs. What I mean is they don't debuff her. This move debuffs her damage and her dodge. This move debuffs her damage and her dodge. This move debuffs her damage and her dodge. So she has 3 moves that we haven't unlocked that are great moves. This one in particular, Barbaric Yap, which is a group stun for positions 1 and 2. You combine that with the Plague Doctor's stun for position 3 and 4, you can damn near lock down the party for the very first round. That's fantastic. But look what it does. It debuffs my damage and my dodge, which means that I'm nowhere near as powerful as I'd like to be on the next subsequent attack. And it lasts for like 3 rounds, I think. I have to check that. The only one of these that might be extremely worth picking is Breakthrough. And the reason for that is, if I would remove something like, say, Iron Swan, I'd put Breakthrough in its place because it's a move forward move. So if I get party shuffled and she's all the way in the damn back, she's useless. Excuse me. The only thing she would be able to do is herself heal, which is an accuracy and damage buff as well, but it's lame heal. It's not really worth doing. It's worth doing instead of passing a turn, for example. But this would allow me to attack as well as move forward at the same damn time. So shuffling me a little forward. That dancing moves are coming in super handy now. We have for our new character, just so you guys can see what the Plague Doctor or the Grave Robber has rocking for. We had 2 Grave Robbers, matter of fact, and I passed on one because this one has all the skills I love. And she had the least amount of negative quirks, and Gambler is nothing. I mean, can only gamble in town. That's for stress relief. I could care less about that. That's fine. These moves, on the other hand, are phenomenal. She has a lunge move which does an extra 40% damage buff and a 10% crit mod to it. I mean, it's huge. She has, and of course that can attack from positions 3 and 4 and attack position 1, 2, or 3 for the bad guys. She has flashing daggers. The only one I would take instead of that maybe would be Thrown Dagger. This one does AoE damage, and it lowers their bleed resistance, so it's a debuff for the bad guys. Doesn't do as much damage as, say, the Throwing Dagger does, but again, it's AoE damage versus single target. You know, you can't really complain. So a great move. This one, and it can be used in many positions. This one here, Shadow Fade, is phenomenal because if she gets pulled forward or we get party shuffled for whatever reason, this allows her to send herself back. It stuns the target, potentially, and it increases her dodge for a little bit of time. So all in all, a fantastic move to get her back where we need her to be. And this is the real reason we bring her, because she has her own little blight move. Now this, coupled with, say, someone like the Plague Doctor, could come in super handy because the 2 of them synergistically working on that blight. And this one even has blight resistance debuff stacked onto it. Single target now, but she can hit any position, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So long as she's in position 3 or 4, she can hit any of those guys with this. Phenomenal move, really. I mean, it's top tier as far as I'm concerned, and one of the ones we'll probably level up ASAP. So we have the ability to lunge forward, to jog herself back, blight people, and do some AoE damage. All in all, she's a great tune. Didn't unlock anything else because, again, there's really no reason to. There's other moves, again, like that Thrown Dagger. It's pretty decent, and it gives a self buff for accuracy every time you use it. So, again, really nice when you got targets that you're missing. Get that accuracy up. I don't know if the buff has to, if it has to hit the target for you to get the buff. I don't think so, but I will check that eventually. But notice it also gets extra damage versus a marked target. Now, the downside of that is she can't mark a target, and we don't have anyone, I don't think, on our team that can mark a target. So there's really no reason to unlock that right now for that particular part of the buff. But again, a good tune all around. So now the question is, well, before we go into there, let's say who we want to take on this next mission. Okay, we know we want to take Renault because we got some stress. We're gonna have to take our healer. We know that, right? We want to take Karen. She's pretty pimp. Plague Doctor would be fine, but again, her blight move Poison Dart, she has to be in position 3 or 4. His Blight move, he has to be in position 3 or 4, except for this one. So the only way to bring the Plague Doctor would be if we're really going to focus on using Noxious Blast and say Incision, because they wouldn't have access really to either of these moves. This one either. Really, right now, the only moves that our Plague Doctor could potentially use in position 2 would be this one, and if I unlock this, or shut something off and lock that one in place, for example, I could use 2 moves out of 4. That's pretty lame. So we don't want to bring the Plague Doctor. I could bring Moby, but then that's 2 characters that are level 0. She wouldn't be a bad choice in position 2. Iron Swan would be useless. But Renal could also switch back one, because he's good in either. So it'd be a good way to get her feet wet. And she does good damage, and if she gets shuffled a little bit, she's still okay. As long as she's not in the last position, because then, again, she's stuck using Adrenaline Rush or moving forward, and that's about all she's got going for her. It'd be alright. There's no real synergy there as far as, she does bleeds, with the exception that she has that move, the Flashing Daggers, that decreases bleed resistance. It doesn't bleed them, but it would help her land those bleed moves. I suppose that'd be okay. But really, if we're going to take a team like this, we're probably want our Pimp Daddy with us, Dismas. We're going to get some damage. He has his own damn bleed. He's got ranged attacks, so he's gravy. And again, if he gets shuffled around, he's still not crippled by that. We don't want to worry about his stress being too high, because we got Ronald with us, and he's got that stress relief now equipped. So we got a pretty good chance of pulling things down. The fact that we're doing bleed damage, though, and blight damage equally, her and him, means we can go into either of these places. The Ruins in the Cove, for those of you that don't know, Ruins in the Cove are ones that you want blight for, primarily, excuse me. It's not that bleeds are useless here, it's just that blights are what you're going to use a lot. For Weald and the Warrens, these are humans and beasts, for example, and those get bled a lot. So again, bleeds are useful here, blights are useful here. And the Darkest Dungeon, it's whatever. So keep that in mind when you're putting your party together. But again, we have a little of everything, so it doesn't much matter. So we could probably start unloading on the Weald. It's a short mission. It'll get her feet wet, maybe get her to level 1, which would make me happy. We'll have to take Moby out probably next turn. So this stress is really going to have to be peeled off of our healer, or we have to hope for another type of healer to come with us on this next run. So with that, let's go back. Let's trink up first. Remember, we're going to do that and that. We got a lot of trinkets, by the way. You missed that. I do apologize. But we won't use the Dark Bracer because, again, it's a dark run buff. Matter of fact, let's see what that thing sells for. Yeah, I'll take money. What the hey. This one, on the other hand, this is an awesome one, especially for someone who doesn't want to get party shuffled. He has move resistance of 40%, 10% protection, so less damage coming in, so he's tankness. A decrease in speed, which kind of sucks, but having said that, him going last is not the worst thing on our total choices here. We could even buff him a little further by giving him some blight and bleed resistance. That wouldn't be horrible. Damage versus human, I'll probably slap that on somebody like Dismas. Protection stone, I can increase his protection even a little more, and still screwing his speed, but I don't care, because again, if he's last, that's fine. Let's make sure Dismas does good damage. The gimping his dodge is not gimping it that much. Where's my other character? Actually, sort by activity. Makes more sense. Let's prevent her from being bled and blighted, because she is the weakest of the parties, being level 0 and all. Now that we've got our trinkets equipped for the people that can take them, you'll notice that we can't upgrade any of their armor or their weapons. And notice what weapons do. Damage buff, crit buff, speed buff. One of those 3, if not more, will be increased every time you go up a level. For armor, it's dodge and HP. And again, every time you go up a level, that should go up for one of each of those stats. The weapons are a little weirder. Sometimes you'll get, it goes up, like the crit will go up 5.5% instead of 5. That's an increase. The speed will stay the same, or the speed will go up a point or two and the crit base will stay the same. So again, you can't really say that it increases all three every time. It doesn't work that way. But the reason we can't increase any is because we haven't unlocked anything. Now while we have 8 deeds, or 10, but 8 is enough to unlock either of these, we will not be able to, of course, upgrade the furnace, which decreases the cost. So the question is we only going to do one, and we're not probably going to buff everybody up because it's going to cost so much money. Which one do we really want to have? Do we want more damage, crit, and speed, or do we really want to have more dodge and HP? Eventually we're going to unlock both, so it's not going to be one of those either or things, you know. We're going to get everything there. I think though for the earlier stuff, damage hasn't really been my issue. And this does not increase your accuracy, by the way. So damage has not been my issue. It's been how much health do you have? Can you dodge the attack? So let's go armor.
In the end, every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
Word. So you can see now what the upgrade does. It gives you the current on the top. So his rusty halberd is a dodge base 5, HP of 33. If I click this, 750 gold go away and I get 5 more dodge, it looks like, and 7 more hit points. Pretty decent buff. And I can do this for everybody except her, because she's level 0, by the way. That's, I think, how that works. So, and again, I wouldn't be able to do it for her because she's 0, but everybody else could get that increase. We're not doing it for everybody because not everybody's going. But at least for Dismas, yeah, might as well get him. He only gets 5 extra HP and 5 dodge, but more is more. What about our healer? She will get some dodge for a change, and she goes up another 5 HP. Yeah, let's do it. It's cheap enough, and it's only 3 of 4 that's getting it. Okay. So now we got our trinkets, we got our skills equipped, we got all the buffs that we could possibly have. No one's going to rest. We got our stress dealer here, so let's get some provisions. Taking all the food. You'll almost always see me take all the food. It's one of the easiest things to throw away. It's cheap compared to everything else. It's about as cheap as the torches. And while, you know, losing a pile of 75 bucks times, you know, 12 would suck. You know, 6 of these bad boys, that's 2, that's like 12 of those too. So, and these are less useful than food. Food can be used to heal yourself and for running around and having your food checks and make sure you meet them, right? So always want food, always want shovels, and the wheel, if I'm not mistaken, is one of those where it's shovel heavy, busted things that you always have to dig your way through, if I'm not mistaken. They do a lot of blight here, I want to say. This is good for blight resistance. This is good for countering the blight, so we'll take 4. Probably get debuffed a few times. Take a few bandages, just in case. A couple keys, because it's a short run. And we're going to take 12 torches. Now that seems pretty good to me. Maybe take 1 more holy water. Alright, I feel good with that. Again, we still got plenty of money. The last run, like I said, that you guys unfortunately don't get to see, was pretty darn successful. We got loots and loots of cash. It was amazing. And it's a shame you guys didn't get to see it. We didn't get a hidden room. So if we see one of those, that'll be the first time we see one of those. So we'll keep our eye out. That's why we always want to keep that spare key, right? So let's see what we got here. The wheel, if I remember correctly, are a lot of the fungus critters and stuff. It's like plant creatures. Hence all the little toadstools you're seeing around here. So
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Let us. Alright, that was a nice scout for a very start. Here's the reason that you don't want to take a lot of food here. You see this corpse? It's a curio. If you use medicinal herbs on it, you usually get food. 12 food. That was a very good start. Okay, 2 types of trees, tree stumps. There's one with cobwebs and ones without. The ones with webs, you use bandages. The ones without, you use anti-venom. Some decent loot. Paid for the anti-venom and then some. Not bad, not bad. Okay, we have a trap. And I don't know if we showed this to you last time, but we got it now. We got a little icon that pops up when you get close to a trap when you know you've scouted the trap. So keep an eye out for when this pops up, because they blend these, even though it's a trap that you've seen on the scout, right? You see that right there. They still hide them pretty darn good, even though you're supposed to be able to click it, right? So it's easy to forget about it, walk over it, and step on it, and go, damn it, I knew it was there. But basically, you have this disarm trap skill. All the characters have them. The higher your level, the better your skill will get. But you'll see that even at level 0, she's got a pretty damn high disarm trap. And if she's successful, stress relief. Why we like that. So it could have been Dismas that got that one. His stress is still pretty high. Hers is still pretty high. But that was a nice free buff or decrease of stress for us.
A match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Another scout. Wow, they just love me today. Alright. And now notice we are, our mission goal is 100% of room battles, which means we can ignore this room if we want. We probably won't, because there's a couple curios there. We'll have to burn a shovel if we want to hit this room even though it's empty and turn around. Otherwise we're walking backwards, but whatever. His kleptomania could just piss me off, and it looks like we're getting ready for a battle. Okay. A surprise. We are kicking ass today. Alright, now here's our flashing daggers. It'll do some decent damage, but it won't kill them both. I could lunge and it'll zip me forward too, so I'll jog right to the front. But he's okay in position 2, and he's okay in the back. And it does pretty decent damage. So let's give it a try. Nah, that was kind of lame. He can reach there, but he can also shoot her. Yeah, get wrecked, fool. Okay, so that was a nice stress relief because we got critted. Her moves, well, I really should have thought about that. She is particularly useless in position 4 unless it's to heal. So we'll just pretend to heal even though everybody's healed. Should have saw that. That was my mistake. Now I can stun these guys. Or one of them. There we go. Yep. This is why we don't like her up front. Okay. Now she's bleeding. The bleed ain't that bad, but she is a wounded character. But Shadow Fate. Poof. Stun. And I get my dodge buff. Let's try to wreck this guy right here. These guys can bleed because they're humans, so we try to bleed them, but it doesn't end up killing them in the first place. And now that she's hurt, our healer can actually do something of actual merit. See? So that's a pretty good deal. Now, I could attack and kill this guy, but he's already wasted his turn, and I got the stress relief move right here that I'd love to start using. Getting that Vestal of ours down a little bit. Remember, we don't want to stall the fight too long because he can call reinforcements and then all our guys freak out. Yeah, I didn't think the stun was going to land, but if it did, great. If not, it's okay because I got 40 dodge now to this character. Oh, Dismas, buddy. Trying to heal here, man. You're just killing too fast.
This expedition at least promises success.
Darn tootin' it promises success. So we got a surplus of food, we'll just burn off all those little poisons and bleeds by eating some of the excess food. Alright, fight time. Treasure room. Okay. Now these little goobers. It's the first time we've seen these guys now. The problem with ectoplasm is they have a move called cytokinesis or something like that, which allows them to call more of themselves. And if you kill off 2 of 3, you can be back to having, 3 of 3 or 4 of 3 or 4 of 4 before you know it, and just piss you all off. So you want to dish out the damage ASAP.
Their formation
That's a good start.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
Well, nice if she had a move to actually attack. Okay, we're so good. Since we're doing good, let's actually work on a little stress healing. Oh, that's a nice crit. Okay. Alright, you're definitely dead now, we don't have to worry. So we're gonna go with healing. Rather have everybody full, right?
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Alright, now that's a Plague Doctor trinket, which we don't have Plague Doctor with us. But extra accuracy, lower hit points. Could be worthwhile, and even if we decide we don't want it, we can sell it. Alright, so now the question is, do we go this way? I say why not? It's a small quest. We have plenty of food. So we can pass for a second here. I just want to...
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Again, tree without web and a venom. With web, you use the bandage. Another trinket. Okay, now this is one of those, we're not going to get rid of this. I'm just shuffling it down here so we can slap it in on one of our characters. Stun protection, less speed, I'm all good with that. Now, we do that. Now, we are eventually going to start needing these heirlooms. Money is still important though, so chucking off 250 for that, I'd be more happy losing a torch.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Alright, that wasn't bad. Some money, some stuff, lost a shovel. Grand scheme of things, I was pretty happy with that as a trade-off. Okay, now here's one of these corpses I mentioned in the last video you guys didn't get to see. Some people have negative quirks, and the negative quirks is like necromania or something like that, where they're a fascination with corpses and anything dead. This would be one of those things, kind of like his kleptomania, where he has to like steal from you. Those that have that necromania or whatever will actually grab and touch the corpse and not give you a chance to interact with it. Sometimes. It's not every time, but it's enough that it'll piss you off. I'm trying to remember what this one is. I think it's something silly like bandages for bandages. Let's find out. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, please. I'll take money. Ooh, fight. Should have actually checked my map to make sure. Now, these little niblet bastards, the maggots, I forget how this was because I played this game so long ago. It used to be that they were tough and now they're not as bad, or it used to be that they were pansies and now they're tough. I can't remember. But they're falling quickly, so I want to think that they were actually were tough once upon a time. Where sneaking up on them was pretty scary. Kind of like the spiders, I think, is the way it was. But I think they gave a lot of diseases. That right there. Since we're actually doing pretty good, we'll probably act first. We'll see if we can pull some of that stress away again. Okay. Oh, resisted the blight. Bastard.
Confidence surges as
Didn't resist the knife though, did you, sucker? Boom. Alright. Scout. Oh. Gave me all the scouts are gonna give me, huh? Food check, that's fine. I think it made room for me. Extra torch. Fill me back up to 8. I'm cool with that. Here's this kleptomania again. That's what you get for touching shit that's not yours, jackass. Get poisoned. See if I care. Son of a bitch. Stealing all my loot. Alright, there's a good scout. Alright, now we have to go all the way to the end because we have to complete all room battles. So it looks like we got 2 more fights to do.
Glittering gold,
yeah,
trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Alright, we got so many of these little bastards. Let's preemptively pop a couple. That's going to be coming handy for that little bleeding son of a bitch right there. Oh, yeah. Some spread out damage, but that's okay.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Nice dodge. Alright. Feeling off stress. That's your job. I'd love to get that down. Oh, not like that though. Okay, definitely dead. Team heal.
A death by inches.
And while people may say, oh, well, that was a waste of team heal because everybody was fully healed. If she crits, then they get stress relief too, remember. Hopefully I told you that before. Next room's got a treasure in it, so I don't want to lose the key. I don't think I'll need shovels. And remember, while the shovels probably cost $250 each, $150, something like that. So this sounds like a negative. Reselling the shovels back, I will get like $5-10 each. So this was still on the win side. Yeah, dogs are pretty gnarly though. We'll probably end up coming down with a disease here. They give us rabies, I think, or something pissy like that. Let's do some straight up damage. Nice. See, her and him with grape shot and her flashing daggers, we do a lot of just damage just right up front. You know, even though it's spread out, we're usually killing like 2 guys a whack, so I'm gonna heal that just because I don't want to have to worry about it. No, look at all that dodging though. And this is why these guys suck. Look at all that dodge they got built into their characters. Alright, he's the only one hurt, so we're going to single target heal him. Get him up. There we go. Gotta get their numbers down a little. Oh, I was hoping that you'd die. No, a grape shot that lands on all 3 will actually probably wipe these dudes out. But we may err on the side of caution here. A, this is our last fight. B, tracking shot does better, or has a better chance of hitting. And it's more than enough to kill off a guy. Buff me. I got a healer going, so I'm not particularly worried. And I want a stress heal, right? So, as long as they don't freak out on us this turn, we're actually doing pretty good. Dodge, kid. Yeah. Get her down to 0.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Very nice. Now this is going to be one of those silly ones where we want to drag a holy water to it, I think, for full effect, or just click it. Either works, I think. Boom, stress relief. That I will totally take. That was worth it.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
Must be fought. Ooh, I got a nice little thingy for my leper. Healing received. Oh, that'll be nice. He's our little tanky tank up front anyway. And if we equip his healing move, which we'll probably unlock now anyway, that includes that heal. Making that heal move phenomenally better. I mean, it already did 6. It'll fucking kick in on another 30%. It'll kick it up to 8 or something like that. We got a decent number of trinkets, nothing to write home about, but you know, more deeds are always more deeds. Remember, those are for the blacksmith. We wanted those. So that come in handy. Not much in the way of money. And we probably spent almost this to go in the party. No, maybe not, but close to this. So we're replenishing our coffers slowly. But, level up. And we have level 2 Dismiss now. Yeah, buddy. That did not make me happy, though. So it's a native quirk of blight resistance is decreased. Last gas +1 speed. Yeah, we probably won't need that, but whatever. 10% stress heal. That's cool. So all in all, a relatively successful mission, I'd say. Let's see, what did we got?
I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor. But I was dead before they found me. And the letter was on its way.
Alright. This is our sanitarium. The things the sanitariums are used for is to treat quirks. You see, we can make one permanent. The good ones, obviously. At a very high price. We can remove ones that are permanent, that are negative, at also a very high price. Like a kleptomanian, a God-fearing. The ones that are not permanent are much cheaper. Still annoying. Still pricey. But you basically go through, see who has a quirk that's so horrible that you just can't possibly tolerate it. Like this one here could be a deal breaker. Minus 3% to crit range skills. Almost all of our Plague Doctor's moves are ranged. That sucks. But to remove it, it's 5Gs large, man. I ain't getting rid of that this way. There's other ways to get rid of these negative quirks, hopefully for free. The medical ward are for ones that have diseases, not quirks, but diseases. Fortunately, you don't see a disease mark. Excuse me, a disease mark on any of the characters. It'll look like a little splotch of snot or bacteria or whatever you want to call it. It'll be on the left or on the right at the bottom of the portrait. So no one's got a disease right now, thank God. So we're good there. The only real thing you really want to open up on these, the cost is basically what you're deleting here. But you want to open up patient slots. So if I click this one, I get an extra patient cell in the medical ward. So boom, boom. If I open up the next one, which I probably won't be able to afford, but if I could, it'll open up one of these ones. So let's do one.
The front line of this war is not in the dungeon, but rather inside the mind.
And if I were to unlock the other one, it would be this guy right here. And then again, it would be here, 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 here would be what we're unlocking with patient cells. The reason you want to unlock at least two is, remember what we said about the grave, or the caretaker? He actually likes to sit his happy ass in our buildings, including this one. So he may take up the medical ward when you freaking need it, or the treatment ward. It'll really piss you off when it's free and he's just sitting in there and you haven't unlocked the other one, and you don't have the what do you call it, the bus or the crest to unlock the next one. So again, you want to try to unlock two of everything if you can, if at all possible. And when we get a town event that allows everyone to be treated for free, you'll just start dragging people into your quirk ward here to lock in a good quirk and to remove those permanent negative quirks, which is a new-ish feature that they've added. So again, makes us happy. But before we check out, what do we got here? Two new characters that we want to have for sure. Outstanding. So let's look at them. Here is a Jester. He's position 2 or 3 usually, which you can see even here. He's great for dancing around. Moves that jag him forward 3 and jag forward 1. Finale bounces him back 3. So you got 3 moves here that make him dance all over the damn place. He's good at bleeding things, so he would work in synergy with Dismas pretty damn easily. Eventually we'll unlock moves that allow him to reduce stress on a teammate by quite a bit, and gives them a decreased stress buff, which means any incoming stress while that buff is active will be lessened. Very good move. Another move that he has is phenomenal is the team buff for speed, accuracy, and crit chance, and that applies to him and everyone else on the team. So really good character to have. We're definitely taking him.
Ye will be laughing still at the end.
going to look at the grave robber just because. No reason that I think of the taker yet. We already have one. We do have a man-at-arms though. Another klepto. That's going to piss me off. We'll probably remove that. We'll send him right over to that damn treatment ward. Pay to have that gone, because $1,500 now to remove it versus him stealing a couple of gems that could be worth $2,000. You know, it could pay for itself by removing it as soon as possible. But he's got decreased stress and increased speed. All good things. He's kind of a tank, especially when he has this ability here. That's pretty nice. He's got another buff. It's a teen buff, if I'm not mistaken, for dodge and speed. He has another one that does accuracy and crit. So he's kind of a, like a man-at-arms should be, a kind of a catch-all. This move is the one that you're going to love for the stun. The only other move that you'll love about him will be, of course, Retribution, which gives a riposte. And when we unlock that, you'll see what I mean. But we're definitely taking this guy.
The raw strength of youth may be spent, but his eyes hold the secrets of 100 campaigns.
Betcha they do. And one of them is how to steal from people. We're going to cure that. Again, it's pricey, but in my estimation, it was worth the money to get rid of it now versus having to steal something good later. So if we sort by level, you see we have a level 2 now. We want to get other guys up to level 2 and of course level 3, because once we get level 3, we'll get level 3 missions. We don't want to out-level, though, boss fights that could be level 1. I don't know if they give us any, ever. But as you can see, the Ruins already has a level 3 mission. And we have not one level 3 too. So obviously we're not going back to the Ruins today. We could do something like the Weald or the Warrens. The Cove, I'd rather have a lot of level 2s to take on the Cove. Of these 4 places, the one that scares me usually the most is almost inevitably the Cove. They have a lot of protection, they have a lot of heals and buffs, they have a lot of guard moves, which are really annoying because they'll guard the son of a bitch that you wanted to kill. You know, a lot of Blight's going to take out the Cove pretty damn quick, but again, we have a synergy issue with she needs to be in position 3 or 4, she needs to be in position 3 or 4, and that means we ain't got squat for healing except for what this lame character can produce, which kind of sucks. If I had 2 front runners that had a good self-heal, like this character, we can unlock one, and she has a heal but it's lame, he has a heal for everybody but it's lame. You know, that might be okay if we did a party like this for into the Cove, but again, I'd rather do it when they're all level 2. So we're probably going to end up going again to the Weald, or now maybe to the Warrens to start working, you know, making progress towards the boss. Let's see, we have another thing to look at, of course, is what kind of rewards are we looking at. You know, we get some deeds, always nice, a warrior's cap, some accuracy for melee skills that can be used on anybody that has melee, like our frontliners, even our man-at-arms. Even this guy basically does melee attacks. Even her, you know, so very useful trinket. Extra XP, but death blow resistance is decreased. Kind of a sucky thing, but extra XP is extra, or XP, HP is extra HP. I mean, you put that on your tank and make them even more tanky. Some portraits, lots of money, longer missions, you know. So again, we'll probably hit like the Warrens next time we come back. But for now, I've rambled on, I think, enough to point out our overall strategy. Thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Brothermutant. Hopefully you guys like, subscribe, comment down below. Hopefully you like what we're doing so far. And again, apologize profusely for messing up video number 2. So this is actually video 3. I won't number it that way, but you'll know that you've missed something. It was epic. It'll never be repeated again, I'm sure. But hopefully I won't make that mistake again with microphone cords. So I will see you guys again soon. Take care.